Hello and welcome to Spacovo. Right, this isn't an episode per se, so we're gonna not get down to 0.5 because I don't want to muck around with the real Let's Play. But this has really brought quite a... Obviously the design of this is so much that you've got to have a side tipper really, and I thought, well, I've trimmed all my trailers and I can't really meet the requirements of this. Might be able to get away with the Omatana because it unloads so quick that it doesn't lift up very high. But I thought, well, yeah, but I really need to sort of try and find something a little bit smaller. I thought, well, why don't I do your first mod review? So this is a mod review. It isn't a normal... No, it isn't. So let's grab one of our tractors. The closest one. You will know. No, because you sometimes play up a little. Have we got the biggie? The arrows will do nicely. It's small as well, so it fits in very nicely to where we want to go. Now this big trailer on the right of us approaching is a fantastic trailer, but not very good for little spaces. Yeah, and if you look closely, we're going to do this scientifically. I'm going to try to keep it sort of succinct, but also not to go too where you sketch out on bits and miss bits out, because it is important that you get this right. Now if you look closely, even this, a small tractor, it only just clears the top of that, so we can't. That's our guide. Now the one of our tractors that almost doesn't go, I think it's the biggie, only just goes under there, literally. So obviously there's quite a few options we've got for this, but I thought let's just stick to standard trailers for now. So in my trailer section now we have quite a bit more trailers than I'm actually used to. Yeah, we have. I've gone for the side tips. They are quite difficult to find. Now obviously the Welga's only 8 cubic meters. The Carrot only... There's so many like lifts, hydraulic ram types, really. Yeah, there's a few pushers. That's the one I think I've just put back in. Do I normally have the power tube? Power push. It's dearer, but obviously it's because it pushes straight back. But that one's still a little bit tall, so I'm trying to go. I might have had the Branta pack in already, actually. Yeah, these are all too tall, too tall, too tall, too tall. The Farm Tech, I was thinking the 35 might just, but I still think it's too tall. But that's the entire point of this particular thing, is 28 cubic meters. Now that, I would imagine, is... I mean, the only bad thing is obviously with a lot of these is price. Yeah, I'm talking. That's great, but it's again, it's ram lift. This one I put back in because you can go up to 19.1, but I think if I remember rightly, it's a silage back, hence the black stuff there. But then we are using silage backed stuff, so that's one option, and it is 4,550. So I'm trying to do this from like two angles: price and capacity. So yeah, we are. I think that's one I've just put in. I think it is still a push. Oh no, I think it's a ram. I had this in before. It's a lift. Yeah, it's not the. It's a power tube plus, but it's not. It is still a lift. I would remove it, not because it's just. Yeah, I was trying to put it in for this. This one again. Blendart and Kolchosnik, who are my favourite cultivator makers. Ooh, I could put a load of stuff in again, haven't I? Now that probably won't go because it's a little bit too, because of that top thing. Yeah, that 11,400 probably would, but unfortunately, again, you can see the side doors, it will open. Yeah, sideways, which is again another thing. It's also got narrow tyres, that's a useful bit of kit for if you've got one of those fertiliser spreaders that you've got to drag one across. And look at the price, absolutely amazing. So apart from the fact it's got that cage at the top, to be honest, if it didn't have that, I think we're gonna, because we're not actually doing this, so we're gonna lease everything. We'll have a go, but I really think that, yeah, I mean obviously, ooh, that's the same one, but it looks like it's got a different top. Actually does the unloading mechanics for you. I think actually that one, I mean, and they are cheap as chips, and a narrow tyres too. I'm reading with light covers at the same time. Right, so that's 2, and not a bad. Wow, it's an entire set by Blend 17. That's it looks like it's all silage, but then do we only want silage for this particular type of thing? So yeah, the cargo, Sid modding, one of my favourite modders. 15,000 for up to a 50. I think this is, yeah, it is loading right. Oh no, right, so this is a bale. That isn't though. It's got side doors, so I'm presuming you can actually. Again, I know that this obviously is a little bit more expensive. We do want to lease it for 850. I can't do 2 minute ones. Now I already know about the Titan trailer. Now we know we can go cheaty with it, but it has got this side things where you can actually side load. So it's. I'm not going to show it because it's a little bit pricey, even though it is stupendously. Yeah, basically the cargo is cracking. I mean, but the Blend Art Kolchosnik one is, yeah. This was one, I think it's too tall. It's a it is. You don't have to have. Yeah, it is a push though. So we are gonna. Oh my life! Is it really that expensive? Yeah, we're gonna lease it. No, it's too expensive. I think it might actually work by Schnibble modding. And when I say too expensive, we're a little farm. Yeah, I'm not having to go and say it's too expensive because it's not. This one I like the look of. Yeah, by Red Cat 3D. He did a series of this, but I thought this one actually is, yeah, pulling mouth. What does that mean? Okay, so it's got different. Yeah, so this was very reasonable. 8,500 for 15.3 cubic meter. I think, it does look like it's got the side unload. So we are going to lease this one too, because this one really is the kind of one we are looking for. So yeah, I mean, there's the aggro liners, but again by Kazdan. But actually, that's not bad really. 25 for a 31. Again, it's a 30 tons is about what we want to do, and I'm sure this has got side doors too. I think. Is it just a ram? Is it a... Yeah, I've also been doing a bit of research on liming, and you can actually lime. Oh, the Le Bourge is not a bad one either. Quite low. 16.5. I think you might get away with the single. Yeah, I've got this. Oh, it's a lift. It is. Yeah, it is. It's a lift. That's the way it's not gonna. Yeah, this was another interesting one. 18 tonner with side. So it is 18 cubic meters for 14 tons. So we are going to go for that one. Yes. I think we're going to be running out of space in a minute, so we might need to send some of these back and do this in 2 halves. Now there's always the Holes FS1, really, and this does do up to 15 cubic meters, and it can unload underneath. So this really, that's again for 4,000. Oh, yeah, we're going to be running out of space in a minute, though. I do know that. Yeah, I'm surprised I never thought of that one, if I'm honest. But sometimes when the problems and you're recording, yeah, I've also got these Madara aggros, 15 and 10. I don't know why I put this in. That's a little bit low. 15, and it is everything. Warranty 17. 15 cubic meters, 20 tons, 20,000. Marshall, this is quite an expensive British brand, but it's very, very low, but I think it's a lift. Yeah, I can't see side, so that's the lift. Yeah, it is, so that's a fail. Some of these I'm going to take, I've just got them in for this. This one by Aggro Sketch, I'm not sure, I think it's a lift as well. Yeah, very rarely don't use this one, but it is a cracking price really. But again, it's a lift, so yeah, you can tell by the back. Although it has got a grain door, but again, it still has to lift slightly, as we found with the one load traders, obviously. But its capacity is, yeah, only 3 cubic meters, so really it's worse than what we've got now. Again, I'm not trying to be nasty either. I'm trying to be brutally honest about what we've... The Reich is a lift. That one might not be. That's got side doors. 19.2, we will. It's a little bit... Reich is a little bit expensive. That one's a bigger one, which that actually also is quite low. In fact, actually... Yeah, I thought so. I thought we'd run out of space at some time soon. But to be honest, the other thing I wanted to show is this. Something that I often forget. Yeah, I mean, obviously, 82 tons is a little bit cheeky, but it is a 6 tonner anyway that you can link multiple ones together. But I think this is a lift as well. I'm sure it is. So that again is really for this particular thing. I was trying to be thorough. The Trans 70, I think it's a little bit too tall. The Weckman. This was another one that was... Yeah, I think this one, I'm not sure if this is a push. As in, sorry, not a push, a lift. Yeah, and you can also... I still think it would be alright, and that's an 18.3 cubic meter, but I swear that's a lift. Yeah, it still won't let me do it. So there's that one to test. So there's two left to test. So let's crack on. Yeah, I'm not really surprised that we ran out of space. And I don't care if we wreck the crops or anything like that. And for this, we're going to literally put in an 82 Studios right here. It's not going to be in the normal Let's Play. It's just literally for testing purposes. So we'll stick... It doesn't really matter what we stick in, but we will stick with my favourite H2 Studios. And we will V-mode it. Ooh, okay. Yeah, that is true. Let's try that again, shall we? Now it's unrestricted. Ooh, and it's been kind to me. Right, V-mode. Smashing. Right, tractor. Yes, the arrows. Let's have a go, shall we? I'm going to time-lapse this, as is my wont, to try to make this as painless as possible. There are other options, like the Pioneer, the SIP Pioneer, but again, even that, only just... If I back this down to that, you will see that it is quite close to the height. So, again, this is a push, really, as we know. But look, it is higher than the arrows. That only just goes in. So that's the real limit. I thought, well, show people. Again, I seriously don't think this one's going to work. So what I'm going to do first is we're going to run the trailers, all of them, to the actual door, just to sort of show, because there's not many more, no, I'm going to hit that. There's not many lower than this. This is one of the lowest things I've ever seen. Right, I'm going to say my words. We're going to test this. We're going to run them all to here, and those that don't meet the thing, we shall shift somewhere else. And then we shall show them in action with the different capacities. We've seen the price of some of them. This one is a cracking price by Blendar, but the other one with the different sort of the more small one, I think that stands a very good chance. It's on left tip because we bought it like that, so we'd need to go the other way. But I don't think this one's going to hit. I think it's going to hit the thing straight away. Yeah, it is. Right, I'm going to say my words though. We're going to rinse and repeat that for all of them, and then we're going to have a look at them afterwards. So all fails are going to be down here somewhere. We're just going to leave them. So I am going to say my words. I'm going to see you guys and gals on the other side. Right, let's send all of the ones that failed. Now these two I'm putting in the middle, but this one didn't technically fail. It was. Now you had to choose the options for this. Now the one thing that is bad about this is it takes quite a few seconds to unhitch. When you press the A button, the attach and detach, it takes about 3 or 4 seconds to detach. It's not the end of the world. I'm just trying to be fair and draw any deficiencies or any differences. Yeah, let's not call it deficiency. That one, that although it's so small, actually hit the top of the building and did the wobble, the same as the one we've been using. Even my favourites that I've had in for a long time that I never get short of, the one over there. Is it the Sarmats? No, the Sarmat's one of those I just put in that was actually ended up being. Yeah, so this is quite good, but again, likewise, this actually just grazes the ceiling and is a 10-tonner. So it's the, it's probably easy to go. I want to be thorough on this and show names and all the rest of it. There's no point in doing this. It's the MAMS, it is PPTS steel 4.5. It's a very, very low price, 10 cubic meters, and obviously can tip left, right, back, all the rest of it. Now, the hose is the slowest unload, but unloads without tipping. So I am going to mention that because it. Right, let's get rid of those 3 over there. We did know that the first one was probably going to fail due to its height, and we were totally right. No, that's not the one I want. I want that one. So leased items, trailers. We want to send back. The Reich failed. Wouldn't go through the door. Just. And the cargo. I'm going to call it a fail, even though Sid Modin is I am a massive fan of all of his things, because we've got to be fair. So that it's just falls into the category. When you've got successors, that one I'm going to call a fail for one reason only. It's too wide. If you're going to go into an tightly enclosed area, it works perfectly. It's very low, and in a non-enclosed space would be perfect. But I've got to be sort of really a little bit ruthless and sort of like pick clear winners that are the best of the lot. It was still a very reasonably priced mod. Now that's, in my personal opinion, the HW80 wood grain base was the very best. Now we want to be sending back, I don't know which one that is. Yeah, there's 2. I can't, from the pictures, that's the only trouble when you've got multiple models. It shows the base model and you've no idea which one it is. So that one over there, which is one of those, is a loss. The clear winner in my mind is definitely the HW80. It only marginally, it didn't actually even graze the top, and is, let's have a look, I think it's one of the 18 tonners. 15.3 cubic meters, which is 5.3 cubic meters more than my other one. It's amazing actually. I had some old Fortrix that were really good, not for this particular type of thing. I couldn't find them today. That one equally is a 15 cubic meter one. Is terribly inexpensive. I think the HW80 is still very inexpensive, really. That one's slightly taller, but still was fine, and it's very, very tiny. They're all swivel axles, as we'll all notice. That one is a very slow release, but it is, nevertheless, it doesn't budge. It actually unloads from its little grain doors underneath. So, yeah, that is a fantastic one. Obviously, I think, that's the one we want. That's the one we want to return. Yeah, it's that one. I think I'm right. By Blendart Kolchosnik, who are my favourite cultivator makers. Let's hope that I am right. Am I right? Have I sent the right one back? Where did I stick that one? Yeah, so one. Yeah, the right one's gone. It's gone from there. So where did I leave the other one? There. So, equally, this one releases straight away. This one, you choose your options. I chose my on left, so I'd got to come this way. Now that's not a deficiency of the trailer, because I chose my options. Yes, I suppose you could sort of mark it down. There was no way to change the trailer unload. So if you're going to be really severe, then that's a down on that. Of course you can alter it at the workshop, but the others you've got the option to choose the HW80. Yeah, that also releases not straight away. That's also about 1.5 seconds to release. Both holes and the HW80, if I just sort of show you, although it's very difficult to show someone when you're clicking the button, but these are both instant. Yeah, I'm releasing now, and it's releasing now. So if I say to do the same on the holes likewise is a straight release. I mean, the good thing about that one we'd sent back that we were a little bit ruthless with, yeah, release. So release straight away. It's no lag. So those two are both in their own rights, both 15 tonners. But I've got to say the HW80 by Red Cat 3D, yeah, is the clear winner. Blendart Kolchovsnik again was so stupendously. If I purchase that, it's 3,400. The holes one is $4,000. Obviously we've leased them, so I've got that mod on. So although the HW80 is the dearest of them all, it is instant release, and it didn't graze the top of the shed, which is one of the lowest sheds I've ever seen. Did not graze that at all. It also does everything. It is, yeah, so does the holes. It likewise does everything. I'm not sure if it'll do the new, I think if they mark them as bulk, whatever changes Giants make, it changes. We'll just, yeah, it does the new pack and everything for the washed beats and all the rest of it. So yeah, it's bulk. Now that one we knew wasn't, so that one suited our needs. And also it's quite, the bad thing if you're going to be totally thorough about doing a mod review like this is there is a bad side to having bulk materials, and that is the fact that if you're using something like an H2 Studios, you can't, these two here, it's a massive disadvantage because I've got to go through like 60 things in the H2 Studios. So if you were to view this from another side, you'd have to say, although that's got a slow release, it likewise did not graze the ceiling. It didn't like do the shaky bit like the one that I've been using, the MAMs, which now I've done this, I'm going to be removing some of these. I don't like a 9 million trailers because it's one of the biggest sections in the game to go through. So yeah, some of these I'll be keeping, especially again Blendart Kolchovsnik is my favourite. So I'm not surprised that I'm blown away by the fact that in a way that is the best for us all round, all things considered. And again, yes, one deficiency was you couldn't choose the tip of trailer side, but that's not really a major fault, truthfully, because you'd choose, well, you can change it in a workshop, but you've got to, if you're going to be totally fair, you've got to say that the HW80, I know this sounds a bit contradictory, the HW80 was the clear winner, but in our particular instance where we want something specific like TMR straw, we only want TMR, we only want straw for feeding. This is a specialist feeding wagon that we want to do. And on that note, you know, one further thing, if we're going to be terribly thorough, the other thing that is good for this is these much more expensive. So on a cost element, these fail immediately, but likewise throw out to the left and the right. So there's not much in it between those two. There is another advantage at present. Yeah, it's much bigger than the KUHN one, the RA142. Yeah, I don't want to get picked up by YouTube for these are choppers. Yeah, they are. All of them. I don't think Universal Boxes. Blendart Kolchovsnik has another sort of thing in there as well. So so that is something that's worth having a look at some point. I think that's everything. The RA142 in the the IT runner pack. I think that's everything. Oh no, I did put the Rhino in, didn't I? It's got a small payload though, but there is the bigger Rhino, but again then it becomes quite expensive. For the sheer biggest that is it. That's 30 cubic meters, and I'm not sure if that one, I've got nothing to reference it whether that's too tall, but it is very good by Bart's and V3. That one's 17 cubic meters. When you consider, it often appears in the sales, that one, it's not that much difference to the original one that we saw, but it's cheaper. Yeah, that one's 24 and that one's 22, but that Rhino is like 2/3 the price. So, not the Puma, sorry, not the Rhino. Yeah, the Puma is 2/3 the price. So, I mean, yeah, if you want a small one, then that's your one. I think that's it. I don't think there are any more. Yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to put that in to be totally thorough, that if you're really going to compare this. The other thing is, at present, there is a bit of a bug, as there has been for a long while. If you put straw into the forage, the feeding wagon, mixer wagon, and you go through there, it'll do it as straw pellets, which will fill your straw up for an awful long time. It's a bit of a, it's not a cheat exactly, but yeah, it's, if you can use, I mean, to be honest, it was my next thing. I was thinking, let's do a trader review. But I was thinking, really, again, that was probably likely, the forage wagon, mixer wagon is likely to go underneath there. I suppose actually, no, let's be thorough. We need to put the, yeah, let's stick these down. I'd like to see how big that, you can't have a mod review if you're not going to review everything in this particular section, so yeah, no, let's be thorough. 11, that's going to go under, you can see that by just looking at it. And also, I suppose it's a very good price, but it's not very big payload. So, I mean, these are massive when you consider it. Yes. And we are going to do you. Yes. And one I'd like to check is the big Rhino, because I'm not sure that that's, oh, of course we have, yeah, let's do it there, because I would like to do it. Right, so animals, and right hand side biggie. Yes, and we are going to do the, no, that one actually looks quite tall. And we're going to be really thorough. Right, smash it. I'm going to go straight into a time. Same rules apply. I'm going to try all of those. Going to go straight in. I'm going to do this one with straw though, because I am intrigued. Only going to get a tiny bit, otherwise it gets a bit mad. Now we know this is, again, in my eyes, for what we want, a clear winner, apart from the fact it takes about 3 seconds to release, which I always find annoying, but then that's me, Mr. Ultra Efficiency, who wants to do everything yesterday. So for a patient person, that's no problem. I think they are almost identical. Let's try the biggie first, because that is a little bit tall. If it's much taller than this, it's an epic fail. Yeah, it is. That's not going to go through. We'll have a go though, we'll be fair. So this is the biggie, and I think we can all know that this is going to hit the top, but you've got to try these things, because this is such a small shed. Yeah, an epic fail. There's no need to quite ram it into it like that. The thing I do prefer about the mixer wagons is the solid axle. So that to me is a win already over these swivels. But there are advantages to swivels too. They're not all bad. I have got getting a little bit better. That also is a terribly slow release. So that's a fail. I think, well, we can see that these are both almost identical. I think the red is slightly higher. But we've got to do this properly though, because we need to see. Yeah, okay. Yes, I want to put a bit of straw in it. I want to see if this actually comes out as the other one does. It might only be, the Pharasin is the one I've seen where it really, oh no, we need to go in there. And the other thing is, these are like the other one that I said was a clear winner. They will only put forage type things in, so therefore are really good. Yeah, we did do TMR, so there's only a little bit of room, so I'm only going to stick a little tiny bit in. So we want straw. Yes, it is. You'll notice the sign is not for straw, they are straw pellets. So if you wish to be crafty, that's quite an advantage, truthfully. And it's not a cheap. I mean, I would say that in time it might get fixed. This is the smallest, but also the cheapest. So, I could have. No, I didn't need to do that, did I? It's none of these are swivel axle. Yeah. Yeah, I did think for the real Let's Play as well, I have my position of the X2, I can't see it, just like horrible cam. You have to guess where you are because camera snatches because of the roof being low, and that's another bad thing about the design of that. Yeah, that it looks to me like it's a fault of the forage wagon, the mixer wagons that always does straw. I think it's if you put straw in first, which obviously we want to put straw in, so we're not cheating. That's what we want to use them for. I think, although I don't know really, because I would probably put straw in first with my mix. So, yeah. It means you'd have to put your silage in first, or your hay. Perhaps it changes if you do that. Done it again. I've got such a habit of literally going straight through that I'm doing it automatically. I suppose that's what you get when you're talking. I've taken DLSS or Marginal. I'm not going to say that because this is a mod review. I'm not going to go into... It's a conversation I had in the proper Let's Play. Yeah, all of them. So it is definitely something to do with mixer wagons that they do. In fact, actually, this is not going to show up on our straw menu. Something that confused me a few weeks back. So yeah, it shows in it. You just have to hop out. So it's left. Now these, of course, you can change mid sort of way. So this might actually. Yeah, I don't want to overdo it because I think we'll probably fill it quite quickly. Not that this is going to stand for the proper Let's Play, but. So that's good. The one good thing about the Farasin is it's got a cracking capacity, very good capacity. It's the one that often gets used by mod makers, really, map makers. Often you'll see the Farasin. Nearly all of Cali's maps usually feature the Farasin. Right, so. Yeah, well, let's just if we go from the top to the bottom. The rate on the Farasin's a little slow, but then that's because the output thing is small. So again, it's got to be a little bit patient. Some of these are better than others. I found the Roberts pack, which I've no longer got in, was a very good rate. You had one that was a double, but then that'll only work in some. Yeah, that's likewise a little slow. But again, you wouldn't expect it to be terribly fast. Ooh, okay, that actually was not... That was more about the width of the thing. It'll be somewhat of my fault, of course, as well. Because we got in the other end. Okay. Interesting. Right, okay. Let's drop it. It's very slow release as well. And we'll reset it. In fact, we'll send it back. That's partially my fault, but it was very tight. So like we were being strict with that other set, then we'll be just as strict with that. That was a fail. So let's return you yes. Mostly my fault. But again, shape and form factor, I keep saying this, are important. Oh, did I not do this one? I didn't put any in, did I? What's this? Left hand side, let's put some in. Now this, the Puma, was one of the was quite good, 17 tonner, and was also quite reasonable. So for the farmer on a budget, to be honest, this was a cracker. I would imagine this, like all of the others, has exactly the same faults. Yes, it does. So it's definitely a mixer wagon thing that you get, which is quite useful. If for someone like myself who's topping up your straw, it lasts for ages. so he's quite an advantage. Ooh, I can't see what I'm doing because of the snatching. Oh, now that's because I've actually... Yeah, that's me with the Puma. Right. I can't blame the arrows, it's a nice little nippy thing, so let's try and... It is a bit... Yeah, it's almost like that other one, a little bit too wide. Really? Quite slow as well. I'd say probably the slowest of the lot, but you'd expect that. It's a cheaper model, so a little bit wide. If we're going to be, you've really, with things like this, got to be a little bit ruthless. Very slow to release as well. Right, last one. Left hand side, I can change the tips of them, sure. Yeah, we can, so we'll go right, and we'll go... I like the shape of this one, the Silo King. This is the second biggest, and also the second dearest of the ones we've tested, which you'd expect from a big name like the Silo King, really. So width-wise, quite wide, but still... Oh, we went past it. I did see a flicker. There we go. I would say that's the quickest unload speed of any of them. The Farasin was not bad either, so this and the Farasin probably quickest. Let's try and get that equally out. So, okay. I need to sort of pull wider for that one. I need to go out quite a long way before... Ooh, I've gone and overdone it. Of course I have. This camera snatching's a bit of a pain. You've sort of got to guess. Yeah, it's quite long. I suppose that is quite a disadvantage when you think about getting out of the doorway. So, there you have it. What would I say was the clear winner out of that? For speed, the Silo King and the Farasin were about equal. The little one that we had and sent back was too wide. The Puma was actually quite wide and very long, also released very slowly. Now that's a point. Let's just try the Silo King, the release, because nearly all of them have got like a bit of a lag on the release. Yeah, that was the lowest. Yeah, I think that the Silo King, he says as he crashes into the slurry point. Yeah, the Silo King was definitely the quickest. But let's just have another go at the Farasin. I want to be fair. Yeah, I'd say actually they were both almost identical. Yeah, there's so little in it that I can't detect it without doing it properly. But I still say the Farasin, I would agree with Callie. There's not much in it width-wise. I think they were almost identical. If anything, the Silo King was slightly taller. I think it's slightly less. Yeah, I'd say there's not much in it width-wise. So if we include those, I'd say your best bet is the mixer wagons, because it changes the straw to straw pellets presently. But obviously I'd still say, if we're going to be ultimately fair, because obviously your trailers... I mean, if you were mixing, again, I often discount those. I never think of those because I don't mix, but it's not just about mixing. The other thing is reducing the amount of stuff that you've got to faff around to go through. If you're going from an 82 Studios or even a Silo, you're literally going to get just forage types, which is really very, very quick. So all things considered, probably a mixing wagon is the way to go for two reasons. One, it does straw pellets. Let's have a quick look at that. And the other reason is it doesn't ever bash its 5,182 litres, so I don't know how long. I think the pellets go down very slowly as well, so I don't know how much the capacity is. I think it tells you on this. No, it doesn't. The straw The pellets don't appear in the straw bar either. The only way you can actually do it is what we just did there, which it shows you how much pellets you've got in, but doesn't really tell you what the limit is, which is a bit weird. But yeah. So that's where I'm going to leave it. I don't want this to be mega long. So really, again, I can see why Callie uses the Pharasin a lot, but the Silo King equally is good. And if you look at the prices of both in the animals section, there's not a lot in it, but the Pharasin's got it beaten slightly on capacity. Both release equally quickly, and we didn't do that because of size. Although for a person on a budget, it's 12 instead of 10 for the little one, which was the epic fail because it was very tall. I mean, they're all made by Barton, so I'm not being horrible. That was a massive one, but still actually was alright, the biggie. So that was okay. Or was that? No, it wasn't. It was the little one that was... No, the little one was too wide. That was the one that failed epically, as in it was too tall. So that would definitely not work for us. Yeah, that's trying to get me facts straight so as not to confuse anybody. Right, so that's where we're going to leave it. All that remains to be said, as I always say, is thank you very much for watching. Truly do hope you're going to stick with me on many journeys. And I'm going to say goodbye for now.